Alright, Mopar people, welcome back to the channel. I'm Justmoparjoe. I walked away and left this exactly 1 week ago. And there's how much transmission fluids ran out of it. So what I'm going to do, get my truck out of the way, back this thing out. I've got some of these absorbent pads. I'm going to go ahead and start soaking this crap up, which these work really well. Get it soaked up, clean my floor area, and do a rear main swap on this car. Alright, so I owe y'all an update on our leaks also before I start taking this rear main out. I got a really bright light and I shined all up and down the back of this. The oil sending unit is good. It is totally dry all around it. The bottom of the valve cover is good, totally dry around it. What I think the stuff on the bottom of that starter, so I believe it's coming from the rear main leaking, hitting the converter and slinging it up, because it's the bottom of the starter's wet. I wiped it off, but if I stick my hand inside of here, I'll just use this rag. That's like soaking wet inside of there. It's got to be a rear main. I've got a new one. I've got the pan gaskets. I'm going to go ahead and get this thing pulled apart. And I'll get a light up under here. What I'm thinking is I'll pull this nut from the idler arm, pop it down, pop the one off the pitman once again, let that center link come down with the tie rod ends, and that should give me plenty of room to get my pan in and out, or enough room, not plenty of room, but you know, it's going to be a fun job regardless. Let me get also back here at the transmission. I take my pinky. There's that rod right there. I believe Mr. Rodney Bird mentioned that one, but I could drag my pinky through that, soaking wet. So it's got to be running down right there, soaking that gasket. This is the third gasket I put on here, and I've tried 3 different types of gaskets, and I'm just thinking, man, what in the world? So that's got to be it. That little tiny piece of the tail shaft housing does block that off. So I'll get in and get it fixed, or pull the trans, or whatever I need to do. I'll have to look at my book, but I wanted to update y'all on that one at least. And we'll get it fixed. But back to the main. There it is. I like to leave the nut on there so that whenever it falls down, it doesn't just hit me right in the mouth. I got a little bit of a chance. Ta-da! Push it up there out of the way. I already got the oil drained. I'll go ahead and pop out the pan bolts. I can even push that out of the way. I think it'll make it now. It's not so bad. I'm gonna try to cheat a little bit here. I got the old Ingersoll Rand. My other electric stuff is not here. So what do? Best you can. I'll get those 4 front ones and give her a rip. So the top gasket, I need to separate the windage tray from the oil pan itself now. It's an odd one. There we go. I don't think it's got a... Oh. Transmission lines are catching over here. This might not be the death of me today. See the windage tray? So he must not have used any sealer at all between the windage tray and he glued the gaskets to the windage tray and glued, that gasket is glued to the block itself. So he glued to that and glued to that, but the pan, you can see, is free. So I've got to come on this side and move those 2 lines. Transmission lines are catching right there in the front. I'll probably just disconnect them, slide them over out of the way, and then pop goes the weasel. Okay, so got the transmission lines clear. One's actually stuck in between there. This one's just kind of hanging out. But you can see that's wide open clear. So this pan must have a baffle in it. Let's go look at one with a baffle to kind of study what we need to do. Alright, so this is a Milodon 30760. Baffle in the front, a little bit of baffle in the rear. So the pickup tube, I'm assuming, comes down, kind of like my hand, goes to the bottom through that little hole right there. So it's not a very long pickup tube, but as it does that, it's probably setting in here. So what I'm going to need to do is push back up on that pan and slide it forward just a little bit, and then it should come down. So let's go try that. Pushing up and forward. There it is. Okay. So pickup came from that side. I'd had to go forward. You can see where it caught just a little bit here. So not a biggie. This pan's actually dented. Looks like whoever put the motor in may have dropped it on the drag link, center link, whatever you want to call it. But I can see, maybe you can tell, those have been tightened up enough to dent it, so I'll need it. I'll flatten those back out, and I'll roll up under there now and just pull my windage tray out real quick, see what it looks like. Alright, so I'm going to have to go ahead and quit for the day. It is Father's Day weekend. I got to get home and get some stuff going for that. Got a car show tomorrow. I'm going to try to get some film for y'all on it. Mopar Mania in Jacksonville, Arkansas. Went ahead and cleaned this pan up really well. Got the baffle cut out so my pickup will fit in there easier. Gasket's glued down. I just got these bolts stuck in place. Windage tray looks good. It's pretty straight. I need to clean that gasket off, but I'm going to go ahead and leave my pans up on the car, catch any oil that I can, Here's the new main seal that I'm using. This is a Viton split rear main seal, 2.75 diameter, made by SCE. So if you ever have issues with one leaking, this could be your fix. I got it from Summit 26605. But anyway, I appreciate y'all watching, and happy Father's Day to you. I'll see you next time.